Hello YouTube, this is Necrostevo and you're watching my 15th narrated Wi-Fi battle. This is a battle that I found again on this Cerebi chat, some great battlers there. This one's against Yankee D's with a 4 for the A and a 3 for the E's there. So we had a great battle, let's get started. He starts off with a Gyarados and I start off with Ferrothorn. Gyarados can run a few different sets here. I was expecting him to maybe set up or go for the taunt, so I just stayed in and went for the Thunder Wave. That works out. He does go for the Dragon Dance, and I get the Thunder Wave off on him immediately. Had he gone for the taunt, I probably would have just stayed in and Power Whipped him anyway, because even if he hit me, he would have been taking Iron Barbs and Rocky Head damage, so I was completely fine staying in and either wasting a turn with the taunt or just seeing what type of set he was. So now that his speed's been cut in half, those two Dragon Dances that he got there, he's back at normal speed now. But now he has +2 attack. I set up the Stealth Rocks just because those are nice to get up, and I switch out to Boxius the Blastoise. This is the first time that I'm actually using Blastoise on an actual team, so I'm pretty excited that I get to use it. It's my defensive wall. He goes for one more Dragon Dance, now he's at +1 speed, +3 attack, and he finally gets the 25% chance to paralyze, so that was actually about right as far as paralyzations go, and I just roar him right out to get rid of those boosts. He goes out into a Scizor, and I wasn't sure what it wanted to do. It might have been Choice Banded and gone for the U-turn, or like here where he tries to set up, so I just roared again. I figured there wasn't much he could do to me because, like I said, I'm a physical wall. Here I roar him out into his Ferrothorn, and I don't want to stay in there and take any type of Leech Seed for my Blastoise's high HP, and I also don't want to take the Power Whip. So the best move is for me to go back out into my own Ferrothorn. That'll give me a chance to set up more of my entry hazards, and as you can see right there, I blocked that Leech Seed. Of course, Leech Seed doesn't affect Grass type, so that works out pretty well. He goes out into his own Gyarados, maybe expecting the T-Wave, but I see that coming, and I believe I just set up some more entry hazards, because of course he wouldn't want anything else on his team paralyzed there. So the spikes are nice. Based on the team preview, it really only affects about 3 Pokemon on his team, but that still helps out a lot, especially with Blastoise roaring everything around. This Power Whip doesn't do that much because of that Intimidate, but you know, that's a good quarter damage there. He gets paralyzed again, so he's gotten paralyzed twice over about 5 turns. So as long as he doesn't get paralyzed too much, he's getting paralyzed about average right now. I missed my Power Whip, unfortunately. He does get off an Earthquake, but without any Dragon Dance boosts, this mixed defensive Ferrothorn is going to take it really well. Had he not gotten that Intimidate off, I probably would have already killed him with the Power Whip. But there he gets paralyzed again, I guess, making up for the last turn of Power Whip missing. Otherwise, he would have already been dead there. But I think this one right here finishes him off. And this is a pretty early 6-5 lead, my favorite. I have my entry hazards up, which is nice. So he goes out to the Gengar here. He goes for the Focus Blasts, and he misses. That's really unfortunate because that would have done a fair bit to Ferrothorn. And I just hit him with the Paralyzation again because I don't like Gengar being able to outspeed my entire team. He gets paralyzed on the first turn, so as you can see, now he's starting to kind of get the bad end of the Parahacks. Here he goes for the Focus Blast again and misses again. And I just go for the Power Whip, trying to give him a chance to hit me there because I was kind of feeling a little bit bad about all the Parahaxes. But I believe he just told me to just play it on out, so I just went ahead and switched out to my Regal there. Going ahead, it would allow me to get a nice fire attack in on anything that he wanted to switch in. I didn't see anything on the team preview that liked to take a fire attack besides Dragonite. And he switches that in now. He takes the Stealth Rocks damage, breaking any possible multi-scale that he might have. And the Stab Flare Blitz, this Regal is actually max HP, no, it's mixed HP, attack, and speed. And it has Morning Sun, Extreme Speed, Flare Blitz, and Wild Charge. So it even though it's taking all that recoil damage, it allows it to function well because if I can predict correctly, I can get his HP back by using that Morning Sun. Here he kind of pays me back for all that Parahaxes and stuff that he had earlier because he critical hits my Regal, and with all those HP EVs on him, he's normally going to live those unstabbed Earthquakes. So unless that Dragonite was max attack, that crit didn't matter, but that's kind of payback in my opinion. Doesn't matter, I'm able to bring in Scarf Primeape, which is a nice little speedy revenge killer, and go for the Ice Punch. I could have gone for the close combat, but with Scizor running around, I wouldn't have wanted to stay in anyway. And now that I know that he brought out Scizor, I can just go right back out into my Ferrothorn. Even though he's probably going to set up with the Swords Dance, I know if he hits me, he's going to hurt himself a lot. I didn't know if he had the Life Orb or not, but he doesn't really want to touch. You don't want to touch this. It's not that you can't touch this. You don't want to touch this. So here he goes for the +2 Brick Break. Scizor has great attack, but like I said, this is a mixed Ferrothorn defensively, and I take that really well, and he takes a ton of recoil damage right here. And I just go for the Thunder Wave to ensure that he is slower than me on the second one, so that I can ensure that he takes himself out by hitting him with the Power Whip to lower his HP even more. Now that I've gotten my entry hazards up, it's pretty easy to feel okay about Ferrothorn going down here to ensure that that Scizor doesn't have that priority Bullet Punch running around later on in the game. So here we have a double down, and let's be honest, those are the best types of downs. But we both go down, which means it's a blind switch into whatever you wanted to do. So he brings out his Ferrothorn, and I actually go out into my Jolteon. Now, most Ferrothorn run either the Leech Seed, which I saw earlier, or the Protect. I was expecting him to Leech Seed again, so I went straight for the Substitute, expecting him to try to Leech Seed. And that works out because he just goes for the Protect. I think this next turn he's going to lay up some entry hazards, but this Jolteon has Baton Pass alongside the Substitute and the Shadow Ball and the Thunderbolt. I couldn't get a good hidden power on it, so I just gave it Baton Pass instead. So that allows me to go safely out into my Shinji the Haxorus, who is a Dragon Dancing set. And now I get a chance to put up some Dragon Dances, and he can't Leech Seed me immediately. So, and I know I need at least 2 Dragon Dances in order to 2-hit KO this in order to 2-hit KO most Ferrothorns, that is. I don't know what type of set he was running exactly. Even though Haxorus greatly resists that Power Whip, it only has 68 HP, so that's going to be easy pickings. But like I said, the main point of that was to get up a free Leech Seed. Fortunately, that Ferrothorn is male, so my Rivalry clicks in there. I was expecting it to do a little bit more damage than that, with the Rivalry boosting it by 20% and then the Life Orb and my Dragon Dance. Ferrothorn is very bulky. And like I said, I don't want to touch it with my hands because I'll get that Iron Barb damage, so I'm just going to keep going through those neutral Earthquakes, and I expect him here to either Protect or switch out again. So knowing that he's going to do that to try to get more recovery, I just Dragon Dance up again to ensure that I can kill it on the next try. And that works out pretty well. He gets a little bit of Leech Seed recovery. So that was a good play on him to make sure he got that recovery. He makes a really good play coming up here. I didn't really want this Ferrothorn hanging around, so I just went for the safe Earthquake again. He makes a good play and goes out into Gengar to dodge that Earthquake. Gengar normally would outspeed Haxorus, but with that paralyzation on it, I have +2 speed, which is basically doubling my speed. Even with the Leech Seed recovery, Gengar is very fragile, and he's not going to be able to take a stab. Rivalry, Life Orb boosted, Dragon Dance boosted, Dual Chop. Wow, that was a lot. I have several times in these videos where I just have a lot of different effects stacking up on each other. Here he goes out into Weavile. I knew most Weavile carry the Ice Shards. He takes a lot of entry hazard there because he is weak against the Stealth Rock damage. And he's also touching the ground, so he takes those spikes as well. I just switched back out into Blastoise, expecting him to go for that Ice Shard. It's a physical attack plus Blastoise resists it. Blastoise is a beast. It's just like he just tried to do something, and Blastoise just kind of laughed at him there. I think the leftovers actually recovered the amount that he did there. So that's nice. I get to stay in here and see what he wants to do. I could have just hit him with the Hydro Pump, but he does have pressure, and I didn't really want to waste him, so I just went for the Roar, expecting him to switch out to his Ferrothorn, expecting the Hydro Pump. But he just stayed in and went for the Ice Shard again. I'm not really sure why he went for Ice Shard if he was going to stay in. But, you know, get some entry hazard damage on the Ferrothorn. I knew I could live anything that the Ferrothorn wanted to do, so I just stayed in and I roared again, and that's unfortunate because he does go for the Power Whip. I was hoping he'd overpredict and maybe go for Leech Seed, but that does a ton to Blastoise, which means that his Ferrothorn is probably a little bit more offensively based because this is a defensive wall. So Weavile comes back out. It actually almost dies from the entry hazard. If I had put up 2 more layers of spikes, it would have died from those 2 switch-ins. So that just shows how well Blastoise is at how good synergy he has with Ferrothorn and other entry hazards Pokemon. He can also get Rapid Spin, which is nice. If I really needed to, I could have Rapid Spin to get rid of his Stealth Rocks. But here, now that I know his last 2 Pokemon are Weavile and Ferrothorn, I can just Choice Scarf, Close Combat my way to victory. So, Primate, Baroque, you did a great job cleaning up at the end here. You got 3 KOs this game, great job. My Boxius, the Blastoise, phased out 4 different Pokemon in different occasions. So this team performed pretty well. I really enjoy using more underused Pokemon. So if you all enjoyed this battle, please like, Please subscribe if you would like to see more of my content. And let me know again. I got some positive feedback about the little random factoids I post underneath the video. I'm probably going to start adding in more of those just so you guys have one more thing to kind of catch your attention for those of you guys who are like me and have short attention spans. Ooh, shiny. So please, like I said, please subscribe. I hope you all enjoyed the video. And I hope you all have a great day. I will see you all later. Bye-bye now.